So you notice what the verse there says, and this good news of the kingdom will be preached in all the inhabited earth.
The Apostle Paul said, "To what extent we have made progress, let us go on walking orderly in this same routine." Pioneering offers you many opportunities to advance spiritually. Pioneering can help you to sharpen spiritual skills, your ability to use the Bible, your ability to teach. Pioneering also allows you to enjoy association with other zealous preachers. Nevertheless, some may hesitate to enter this door of service.
I think some youngsters think that you have to be cut out for pioneering, you have to be made for it, you have to love the ministry right from the start.
You go out with other pioneers, and they're doing all these nice presentations at the door, conducting all these Bible studies, and I felt like I didn't know enough scriptures.
I didn't know the Bible like they did. It seemed like their hands would just find stuff. I didn't even know that was there. So I just didn't feel like I knew enough. I felt like, how could I be a pioneer? I don't know anything.
Many think that pioneers can't do anything. Pioneers are narrow-minded. They are saints. They have to be perfect.
Be assured, however, that you do not need to be perfect or unusually gifted to enter the full-time service.
So I said, wow, they can do it so well. Why can't I? They know the Bible by heart. But now I simply know that good preparation is important and that everybody can manage to give a good witness with Jehovah's help.
Not every pioneer at first knows every scripture. They don't know how to answer every question. But as years go by, as months go by, you learn how to look up those scriptures, find those scriptures, and you become better in your ministry.
Don't compare yourself to the pioneer who's been out in the ministry for 30 years. Measure yourself from when you start pioneering, maybe after a year, reevaluate, and you'll be amazed how much progress you've made.
Nevertheless, some may still hold back from full-time service because of economic concerns, or because they feel that priority should be given to education. How can you meet these challenges? First, by cultivating trust in Jehovah to provide for you. Jesus told his disciples not to be anxious over material things, but to seek first God's kingdom and to trust in God to provide for them.
If we really trust Him, all these other things will be added to us. He will never let us suffer necessity or want, because we have chosen to serve Him.
I come from a single-parent home, so my concern was really to help out my mom. And she was like, I don't know why you're worried about it. And she's like, Jehovah has provided for us through all this time. If you pioneer, we'll have even more blessings.
Even so, it is wise to apply Jesus' counsel to maintain a simple eye.
You just have to be practical. Sometimes when you go shopping, you just have to say, do I really need this or do I just want it?
Service, and you have to realize that it's a simple life and full-time service is a sacrifice.
1 Timothy 6:6-8 talks about being content with basic things, our sustenance and covering.
While full-time evangelizers must trust in Jehovah, they must still work to support themselves. In preparation for a career in full-time service, it may be possible to select courses in school that will teach you a trade. While planning for your education, it is important to keep your focus on spiritual goals.
I think possibly the key is to trust in Jehovah, because if you're constantly feeling that if you don't get this qualification, that qualification, and the one that comes after, you're not going to get a job that's good enough to support you pioneering, you won't get that job that's good enough to support you pioneering. A lot of pioneers I've spoken to have fallen into their jobs, or they've started off in something small and found that there was a way to get into something better.
My parents supported me as a pioneer, but then I took a technical course in architecture. Things didn't work out very well because of my work schedule, which messed up my pioneering. Then I developed a skill that I didn't even know I had: handicrafts. Jehovah's blessed me so much that now I'm earning more in handicrafts than I would have if I had stayed in architecture.
I went to a vocational school, a vocational high school, in architectural drafting. I became friends with a brother who was an architect, and when I graduated, he invited me to work in the firm that he was in. I learned a lot of the things that I know just from working there.
I work as a secretary, and I do medical transcriptioning. Since I went to a vocational high school, they trained me in office work.
My senior year, I took work study where you go to school half a day, and I worked construction. I did kitchen and bath remodeling. I learned a lot about the trade, and then when I moved away, I got a job working at a retail store selling building materials.
I'm a dental assistant. On-the-job training, and then in the state that I live in, you can go to school and get your license, but it's only like 1 day a week, and it worked out really well.
I've heard quite a lot of people who are pioneers tell me they've got the perfect job, the most wonderful job, but I've never actually had that. The job I'm in at the moment, I don't particularly enjoy, but I've been there for 4 years, and it allows me to pioneer.
When we trust in Jehovah and recognise that He's the one that's going to make the way for us, then we put everything that we have into His hands, and He always directs us in the right way.
What, though, if circumstances do not allow one to enter full-time service?
I really enjoyed that.
Jehovah knows our circumstances. Not all of us can be pioneers now, but if we do our very best, Jehovah will always remember that.
We know that our worth before Jehovah isn't measured in terms of the number of hours that we attain or the results. Numbers don't matter to Jehovah. It's the motivation. It's what we have in our heart.
So what will you do with your life? An open door leading to many avenues of service stands before you.
And they will indeed find the exquisite delight in the abundance of peace.
A lot of people have said the same thing. And despite the fact that there are some terrible things...
Whatever your circumstances, make serving Jehovah your main goal in life. Have as full a share in the service as your circumstances allow. Set goals for yourself. Constantly seek ways to improve the quality of your service to God. If you make serving Jehovah your goal in life, you will truly find joy and fulfillment.